Hi Floss Tube, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is June the 1st and I am back for my 31st Floss Tube video. Please excuse the voice. I don't know how long it's going to last. It kind of comes and goes. I've had a sinus infection for a while now and it finally got bad enough that I went to the doctor this week and I'm on an antibiotic, but it's taking a while to kick that infection in the butt. So I'm a little gravelly. Please bear with me. Welcome to anyone who is new. I hope you enjoy your visit and will come back again. And welcome back to those of you who watch on a regular basis or a somewhat regular basis. I appreciate you visiting. And of course, I really appreciate all your comments. I had a few questions from the last video. And I think I answered everybody's question in the comment section. If I didn't, I apologize. I must have overlooked it because I'm pretty sure I answered everybody's. I had a question and I can't remember if it was this past video or the video before, but I want to say it was the video before. A gal asked me about, and I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but she asked me about storing her fabric for her projects in plastic bags. And apparently she had received some fabric that she had ordered that said not to do that. And I've heard that off and on over the years. So I thought I would go to the experts, those that dye the fabric, and get their opinion on the whole thing. And what I found out, well, first of all, I spoke with Marilyn from Picture This Plus and Pat from Lakeside Linens and Weeks Dye Works. And they all said they did not see a problem leaving your fabric in plastic bags or vinyl project bags in the short term, meaning, and short term was used loosely. So long term, 200 years of storing it in the plastic bag, yeah, probably not a good idea. But 10 years, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it takes you to finish the project, it's probably not going to affect the fabric. The only exception to that, and this was brought up by, gosh, I can't remember which one of them brought it up, fabrics that are not set. So the dye is not set. They felt that might have a problem. So I believe R&R fabrics are not set, so to speak. So maybe don't store those in plastic. But otherwise, they said a chemical reaction would take a long time for it to affect the color on their fabrics. So I guess what I'm going to say is use your own judgment. I have never had a problem, and I store mine in plastic. The fabric here in the shop is stored in plastic. If you don't want to seal the zipper, then and let the air in and out, that would probably not be a bad idea. I can't say that I do that, but I don't know. I'm not an expert, but that's the advice that I was given, and like I said, I haven't had a problem. So if any of you were wondering, there's the answer that I got. I did not speak to everybody that dyes fabric, but Lakeside, PTP, and Weeks have all been dyeing fabric for quite a while, so I figured they would have a clue. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I didn't think I had watched a whole lot of Floss Tube since my last video, but apparently when I wrote down the list of everyone that I remember watching. It's a pretty long list. I'm trying to get through the StitchCon list, but I'm not getting very far. I've watched, I think, 3 or 4. Because StitchCon is coming. Did you guys know that? It's coming in about a month. I'm starting to get excited. I'm starting to get anxious. I'm starting to think about what I'm going to take to stitch on or not stitch on, as the case may be. Do I want to take anything for the show and tell table? I flew last time, so I couldn't. Kathleen and I are driving this time, so we could. Lots of decisions to make between now and then, but I am looking forward to it. I hope you all are looking forward to it too, at least those of you who are going, all 400 of us. That number scares me. 400 people in one room scares me. Granted, 150 last year also scared me, so, and I made it through that okay, so this will be fine too. I had my normal snafu with my reservation for the hotel. When I made the reservation, I had made it for Wednesday because we were coming in Wednesday through Sunday, leaving on Sunday. Just one person in my room, and I did not request any particular kind of room. I told them that a double was fine. Well, when I went to just reconfirm my confirmation, because here's when the confirmation email came in. This is totally my fault. I should have opened it up and looked at it, and I didn't. Instead, I moved it into my StitchCon file and didn't look at it again. But Kathleen and I were considering staying through Sunday and leaving on Monday, and so I was going to call the hotel and see if they had any availability. And when I opened up the email, I noticed that, oh, my reservation is only for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They put me in a king room, and they had 2 people listed as being in the room. So I called, and of course there's no availability on Wednesday, and I did complain because I had a very long conversation with the person that I made the reservation with, because at the time there was not a block of rooms for Wednesday. And I said I didn't care about the cost on Wednesday. If it was more, it was more, just to book me in. So I know that I did it right. They didn't do it right, but there's no availability. So we're going to stay in another hotel for Wednesday night and then move to the Hyatt on Thursday, which is fine. And then there was no availability for Sunday, so we will be leaving on Sunday unless we decide to move to a different hotel again, but I can't see us really doing that. But anyway, getting excited for that and nervous for that. But I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. If I say that often enough, maybe I'll start to believe it. Let's see, what else can I tell you that's happened. It's not been a very good couple of weeks. I lost a friend to cancer. My nephew is very ill, so if you're a praying kind of person, I would appreciate any prayers you might want to send up or good thoughts for his health. He's had a rough life. His immune system doesn't work right, and it has no memory. So he can get his vaccinations, and 6 months later, his body does not remember that he was vaccinated. So he gets infusions every week of IgG, and that's the only thing that gives him any kind of coverage for any kind of illness. So whatever the donor is covered for, then he gets that coverage. But he has to have them every week, every Wednesday. Takes about 4 hours. He gets a needle in each leg, and Melanie homeschools the kids. His sister has the same problem. But Ben was sick a year ago this time of year, and they think he was probably misdiagnosed, and they're thinking now that he has autoimmune encephalitis. So they're running some tests, and the treatment for it is not something he can technically have. Apparently it's massive doses of prednisone and IgG, and because of his immune system, they really don't want to ever give him prednisone. So the possibility exists that he'll have to go into the hospital and be in isolation for at least 6 months. We're hoping they can come up with some other treatment for it, but it's not looking, according to everything we know, the only other treatment is a bone marrow transplant, which is not a good thing to go through either. So any prayers you could send, I would appreciate. We're pretty scared for him. So let's see. Yeah, there's other stuff going on, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to bring you all down to my level. So I think what we'll do is I've got some stitching that I've been working on, which it hasn't been a whole lot. The puppy's taken a lot of time, and then I was sick over the holiday, so I had been planning to work on framing over the holiday, and that didn't happen either, so now I'm even further behind. So I think what I'm going to do about that is start closing on, I'm just going to be closed on Mondays and use Mondays as my framing day, and hopefully I can get caught up, and maybe I'll open back up on Mondays, and maybe I won't. It's just all going to depend, because I'm not finding time to get it done during the week. The other day I went to the back room 3 times, and each time I went to the back room to try and cut a mat, someone would come through the door, which is not, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying every time I go to the back room, somebody comes in the front door, so it makes it kind of hard to frame anything. So I'm starting this Monday, I'm going to be closed and just use Mondays for framing. And what I get done, and then it will keep until the next Monday. Either that, or I'm just going to quit framing completely, and that would make a lot of people unhappy. So that's my plan for now. So I've got some new in the shop. I've got what I've been stitching on. I've got a couple of, I still have Paulette's from Plum Street Sampler. I still have her trunk show here, so I've got a couple of her pieces I thought I would show, and that's really about it. There's not, like I said, I haven't been stitching a whole lot, but I just wanted to say hi. It's 7 o'clock in the evening. The store closed at 4. I did my ordering for the week, and thought, well, I'm gonna just do a quick video before I go home. So let's get this boat on the shore, as my neighbor used to say. I'm gonna start with what I've stitched on, and like I said, it's not much, so don't get excited. Just calm down. Home of a Needleworker Squared. Cute little design, came out at market. I decided to do mine on a gingham fabric. I think this is straw, so it's 28 count. I'm currently building a house, and I think the last time I don't know. I don't think I had much done the last time I showed it to you. So I've gotten some done, but it should have been, like, you guys probably would have had it done by now. But it's not a race, so it'll get done when it gets done. And then I'm supposed to be participating in a stitch along with a whole bunch of really nice ladies on the English Garden Sampler from Samplers Not Forgotten, and I have fallen down on the job. I've been working on the, I can get the needleworker squared done. English Garden, I am not going to get that done anytime soon, so I kind of want something new on the wall and something maybe to send to the fair, even if it's, you know, a little something. At least it's something, which at this point I don't have anything. So I'm sorry, all you ladies who I'm supposed to be participating with, but I will get back to it. I was trying to do Sundays. I would, you know, stitch on that on Sundays, but again, last Sunday I was sick, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Anyway, if you're not familiar with it, that is English Garden, and it is a stunning piece, and I'm sure you've seen it on everybody's Instagrams and videos and all that good stuff, because they're a lot farther than my puny little start. And every time I see them post their picture, I'm like, ooh, I want to work on that so bad, but I'm trying to get something done. That is the sum total of my stitching. I have, however, been working on the charting of the antique sampler that I got at market, not this year, but last year. Not an easy thing to do. You would think you're just copying what that little 10-year-old girl did, but I swear it's got to be 60 count fabric, and I'm having a hard time seeing her stitches. Some of them are gone, so I'm trying to guess, and then she's got some errors in there, and so then you have to decide, do you want to leave the errors in there? Do you want to fix the errors? Some of them I'm leaving, some of them I'm fixing, but I've got the, do I have the border done? I think I have the border done. Well, okay, there's a line of border, and then there's the floral part of the border, or the I think they're strawberry part of the border, and then there's another inner border but it's some sort of a stitch that I don't know what it is, so I'm going to have to figure that out before I can chart that part of the border, but the big part of the border is done. And I'll start on the motifs maybe tomorrow if I don't decide to come in and do framing. We'll see. So I've been doing that, and then I think I told you in my last video that people kind of mentioned casually at retreat that this fall is the 10th anniversary of our very first retreat, and what were we going to do to celebrate that occasion. So I've been working on some ideas for that, and I think I pretty much have those hammered down, so because it's time to get registration going. So that's on my list to do this weekend, is to get the registration letter written and ready to go, and figure out what costs and all the good things. So I haven't been totally ignoring stitching, it's just been kind of spread out over some other things. Also, you might have remembered, maybe you don't, but there was a sampler that I saw at market that I really liked, and then when we got home I couldn't find the sampler anywhere. I have no idea what happened to it. I'd bought 2 copies of it, and I still haven't found them. So I reordered the sampler, and then I picked some fabric and floss and stuff for it. And unfortunately, the fabric I didn't have in the count that I wanted, so I had to order it. So that arrived this week. So to refresh your memory, it's the IIS circa 1820 from Samplers Revisited. It's a Scottish sampler. And I saw it at market. I thought it was beautiful, so I bought it. And I've decided to do it on, picture this plus 40 count earthen, which is kind of a pinkish brown, probably not showing, maybe up there in that corner. Kind of a pinkish brown fabric. Little hints of green in there too. It's a beautiful fabric. Now this, if I'm remembering correctly, this house and this, I think it's a cow maybe. I don't know. Could be a horse, a cow, a moose. I don't know. It's an animal. And I think these are the two colors that the animal is. And I think this is the color that the house is, if I'm remembering correctly. But I kind of like how the picture looks. So I'm undecided yet as to what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to use these two or if I'm going to change them to these two reds that I pulled. So this is the color palette. Let me spread it out so you can see it nicely. My mouth is really dry, I'm sorry. I'll get a drink in a minute. Okay, let's see if this will work. So there's the color palette that I'm pondering. And it's this red and this red, which I'm thinking of using, which is, oh dear, what was that? Something just fell, and I'm hoping it wasn't a bat. I have had bats in here before. Anyway, Cranberry from Gentle Art and Merlot from Weeks Dye Works are the two that I'm thinking of using. But anyway, I just kind of like how those colors look on there, and it's something slightly different without being too far out of the box. And the fabric on this looks a little pinky anyway, so someday I will actually stitch it. Not anytime soon though. But I thought I'd share it with you anyway, just in case you wanted to stitch it. Okay, now I got Paulette's new charts in, somersault boxes. This one calls for 36 count vintage pearl barley. And the threads, the called for threads, I've got those pulled. So those are the threads on the vintage pearl barley, which I think is really beautiful. So I would make no changes to that if it were me. I still wonder what that was that fell. Oh, it's just a bag. Much better than a bat. Summer delivery. She does the best horse. I don't know how she does it. How she gets it to look, very curved. I don't know how she does it. This one calls for 36 count vintage beeswax. And I've pulled the colors and the fabric for this one. Except for I just dropped one. There. And they look beautiful. I am a little bit worried about this one disappearing on this fabric. I love this vintage beeswax color. It's just a nice brown. It doesn't have red in it. It doesn't have gold in it. It doesn't have, I mean, it's just brown, which is rare. But I was thinking on this one that, you know, maybe something else would look good too. And I was thinking that as I was getting ready for this video, and laying off to the side were these two fabrics, because I was pondering which one of them I was going to paint my bedroom in, because I kind of like to paint my bedroom this summer. Right now it's a really dark olive green, and it's just, I feel like lightening things up just a little bit. I'm not a real pastel-y person, but I do feel like I want to lighten it a bit. Anyway, I pulled these two colors over because I was thinking one of them might look good, and this is 36 count smoke blue. It's a Zweigart fabric, and I just think those colors are really pretty on there. Don't you? I do. Really pretty. And the blue has enough green in it for me, because I wear blue, but I don't like to necessarily decorate in blue. So this might be the color of my bedroom walls. Not that you really care, but just thought I'd share that story. And then I also received the Peace, Love, and Purpose. Paulette actually delivered these in person last week. It was nice to see her. It's always nice to visit with her. This is another really cute chart. And it calls for 36 count Ren. I notice more and more the designers are using 36 count, which you probably know is not my favorite count of fabric, just because I feel like one is too little and 2 threads are too many, but those are the colors. Which are also very soft and pretty. I like all 3 of those designs, and probably they will eventually go home with me. Right now they're just sitting in that drawer that you know the drawer up there in the file thing. Yeah. They're just kind of hanging out in the drawer. Okay. River Drift House is a new to me. I've got a couple more of their designs in the shop, but they're fairly new to me. Now, they may have been around forever, I don't know, but they're new to me, they're new to the shop. And they released some new ones, or at least my distributor just picked them up. So I thought this was really kind of cute. Happy Christmas. And it's done just in grays and reds, which is nice. But I got to thinking that if I were going to stitch it, since it's Christmas, I might like to throw in, I like to make the trees green. I don't know. I suppose this is probably kind of a very Scandinavian look, do you think? Or I'm just talking out my ass, one of the two. I can see these trees as being green, and maybe this trim up here and down here, and maybe right along here and here. I don't know. And I thought it would be really pretty on a opalescent, just an antique white opalescent. You can see kind of the sparkle on it. But these are the colors minus, these are the greens. But it's just these 4 colors. But I do think if I were going to stitch it, I'd add in these 2 greens for the trees. Maybe, maybe not. But I thought that was a cute design. Really cute. Jardin, oh, Jardin Privé, new antique sampler. I thought that one was cute. And this one's in French, so I'm not gonna, I think it might mean company of sheep. But she's cute, standing there in with all her little sheepies around her. It's really cute. Little House Needleworks, Farm Life. That one's cute. I like the barn, the quilt on the line. Do you guys hang your clothes out on a clothesline? I love to do that, but the dang spiders get all over them, and I'm deathly afraid of spiders, so we took our clothesline down last year. I may put one back up, just one that you can pull out so that spiders can't make their nests on it. I just got these in the mail today. It's the next 3 in the Scary Apothecary series. So there's Coffin Paint, Cauldron Cleaner, and Cackle Lozenges. I could use a lozenge right now. These are not in real high demand here in my shop, and I don't know why, because they're adorable. So I think I'm going to have to probably stitch them up before people really appreciate just how pretty these are. The colors are wonderful. She adds just a little bit of Krennic to give it a little sparkle. And I'm just thinking they're really cute, so I may have to do those at some point. This also arrived today, Star Spangled Swine Farm. I think the little pillow is adorable, and I really like this. So they're cute. Cute. Twin Peak, I've got a couple new ones from them. 239 Arch Street, which I really like this one. It's patriotic. I love the flag on it. It looks like it's waving in the wind. So I really like that one. The nice thing about Twin Peaks is they just use DMC, so if you don't want to spend a whole lot on them, you don't have to. But you could easily convert the DMC to overdyes, because like you've got the big blocks of color in the houses that would be nice to have a little bit of movement in them, but you don't have to. Count Your Blessings is also from Twin Peaks, which I think is cute. Cute's the word for the day. Spring Deer from Barbara Anna. She's a very pretty deer. It's not something I would stitch, but I like it. Stars Bright from Lindy Stitches. Cute birds. Some more from Riverdrift House. This is the Yellow House sampler. And I like yellow houses because my house is yellow. This is Paradise Found. I really like the building in this one. All the flowers. It's a sweet design. Anglesey Reproduction Sampler. This one has boats on it. Like that one. Happy Christmas Tree. And last but not least from the crossed wing collection is the cardinal biscore nest. One of my customers stitched the first biscore nest, and she just finished it not too long ago and brought it in to show everybody, and it was stunning. So I highly recommend doing this one, even if you just want to do the fob. There's a crap ton of stitching in that nest, but it is awesome when it's done. This would drive me nuts because it's fiddly, you know, and I would my little anal self would have a hard time with that because there's nothing telling me exactly where everything would go. So I would have problems with that, but I could do that fob real easy. And that is everything I have for that, except for what I wanted to show you. The Wool and Flax Company. Been very popular. And Gentleman's Daughter. I really, really like this one. And at first I'm like, oh, I just would leave those words off. But the more I see them, the more I like them. So I think I'd probably leave them on now. But I really like that one. So I think that's all I have today. I don't know how much longer my voice will last, so I am going to call this good. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying beautiful weather. I know it's been kind of crazy everywhere. There's more flooding again around in this area, and the tornadoes in Kansas and Missouri and Oklahoma and everywhere else. It's just, this weather is scary, so I'm hoping that will all kind of calm down. I know we've just had a ton of rain. I am kind of tired of it. I'm making sure that the mold's not growing between my toes. At least, though, we haven't flooded again here, like here in my shop. There's been no more water in the back. The front still continues to leak, and I haven't had any water at my house, but I know others that have. So please keep them in your prayers, because they are still going through a lot. Travis lost one of his farms he has farms in different areas, and one of them was under, I don't know, 4 feet of water or something this past week. And it was corn, so it's too late to dry it out and replant corn. So Abby said that the insurance adjuster was coming out to see if they were going to zero it out, and I don't know. I don't understand it all, but so yeah, people are struggling. Keeping them all in my prayers, and if there is anything that you can do to help, even a prayer will help. A small donation. There's a lot of people in need right now. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a good evening. Hopefully you'll get some stitching in. I'm going to head home, put my feet up, hopefully, maybe. It looks like it's still nice outside, so maybe I'll sit on the deck and stitch for a little while, or I'll play with the puppies, one of the two. And in the meantime, you guys take care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.